Evening, everyone. It's around 6:25, and this is your closing comment for Thursday, the 25th, and it's video number 687. And as I always remind you, if you like the work, please hit that subscribe button, and it'll make us very happy. Okay, so COVID, Suez Canal, UK variant, continuing claims, GDP, certainly plenty of news around. So let's go to the COVID news, and that is that the UK variant is now prevalent and may not be any worse than anything else as far as severity, but it is more easily transmitted, and so that's causing a problem. The idiot who ran aground in the Suez Canal is still stuck there. This is one of the biggest container ships in the world, and it's, I've seen some pictures and saw an article in the New York Times this afternoon. They're they're nowhere with it. They're dredging and emptying and trying to dig it out, but it's pretty badly stuck, and after all, it is a 200,000 metric ton ship, so pretty impressive to see it stuck there. I'm not really sure about the economics of this because of the force majeure aspect, meaning that, I'm assuming that when you lease a ship like this one was, that, there's some sort of warranty on when things will be delivered. And if it's a 3-day trip and you lease it for 3 days, I don't know what happens when it turns into a week or 10 days. In any event, I'm sure that we'll all learn about it very shortly. Initial claims this morning down 97,000, below 700,000 at 684. Right direction, still high. Continuing claims were down to 3,870,000 versus last month's 4,120,000. That does not include the 10 to 20 million people who are on pandemic insurance, which is besides unemployment. So if your unemployment had run out, you were on pandemic. There are plenty of people who weren't eligible for unemployment, and so they're on pandemic. So it's nice that the unemployment side of it's working out. Still not so great. Okay, and the GDP, this is, a rear view mirror look. We're a couple of days away from the end of the quarter, and we're still talking about the fourth quarter. But that number was, the new look was 4.3 versus the last look, which was 4.1. So better. Okay, so when I was a kid growing up in New York, it was always a real treat for me to have my parents or my grandparents take me to Coney Island or Rockaway Playland, or, and the reason I mention that is because my head is spinning on a day-by-day basis almost as much as it did when I rode the Cyclone or the roller coaster at Rockaway Playland. So today we have yet another reversal. We were down 300 in the Dow. We closed up 200, actually 199.42, or 0.6%. The NASDAQ, which was down pretty heavily and was down heavily the last couple of days, was up 15.79, so green, but not much. The S&P was down about 25 or so early, finished up 20.38, or about 0.5%. And the group that's been batted around absolutely the most, which is the Russell, was 13% off the high just yesterday, was up 2.29% today, up 48.86, and the transports were up 226.89. Part of that, of course, was the cost of oil coming down 262. So we've really been all over the place in the oil. I want to just show you that, and you'll have a little better idea. It's down 17 cents so far tonight, but the last couple of days have been just unbelievable. I mentioned this last night and again this morning about the size of the ranges for the days where, this entire move up, we were having ranges of, $1, $1.25, less than that, 75 cents, etc. And then when we had breakouts, they were bigger. The breakout here was a $2.50 day of range. We blew off here, came back down, and when we started back up, this is a $3 range. Then when we broke out above the resistance around 62, all of a sudden we had a range of $4.25. The high here, well, you get the idea. In any event, after the break to the downside last week, exactly a week ago today, we were down almost 460 with a $6.50 range to the downside, and the last couple of days have been down 380, up 342, today down 262, and right now we're basically unchanged, down 4 cents. So really nothing there, but you can see the volatility of this group. This goes right through to all of the products. The one that we are in, which is the nat gas, looked substantially better today. Right now it's about unchanged on the day. Full chart. And we've been building this base right along the 200-day moving average. When we bought it, we were buying it against that 200-day moving average. And so far today, we managed a gain of just under 5 cents to 261 and change, actually 261.60, so $2.60, almost 62 cents, and that's about where we're trading tonight. As far as I'm concerned, this was an important move to the upside here. This 261.60 is just a shade, just 0.3 of a cent below the high close here, 261.90. My next confirmation breakout would be a close above this 263.60, so that would be up $2. It would probably take us back into these two moving averages, which are the 5 and the 50-day, the 50-day and the 100-day. They both come through right around the same point, right here around 273. That would be a great trade for us. Speaking about great trades, I posted today on the Discord channel probably 2 or 3 separate times root. I'll show you what this looked like without the post market, because the action came afterwards. I really like the way that this has been completely oversold and has been consolidating and curving up, and now the last couple of days, as you can see, like with the oil, the ranges have gotten bigger, and so we've had pretty nice highs in here, and during the day today I was looking at it and I thought it looked really great, posted it, and I think at the time it was probably in this area down here. I did it early this morning and said here it comes, and of course we rallied up hard. In any event, the real action has taken place after the close, and there will be a link to a report by CUTRON, who is generally a short house, and as you can see, the difference between the regular market close at 1287 and where it's trading right now, 1383. So almost $1 higher, has traded as high as 14 and a half. And let's see, this is the article. CUTRON reports seeking alpha, root up 9.7 after CUTRON pitched the auto insurance company as a long. The short interest is 36% of the float. Root shares had dropped 53% from its original IPO. And so, like a lot of them. But here's what's important to me. What's important to me is that the last time we were this oversold, this is versus a regression line. So the last time we were this oversold, the stock moved essentially from 14 and a quarter to 19 and 3/4 in a 2-day period. Settled right around that line, and by the time it got as overbought as it was oversold here, it had basically gone from 15 to 25. Now, I'm not saying that that's what we're going to see here. What I am saying is we are still oversold. We have not crossed that, and if we were to, we could continue to get overbought, maybe to this area, which is around 17 and a half or 18. We are long the 12 and a half calls at $1.35. We sold half of them at $2.10 earlier, but I'm going to say we have a real shot of having a nice trade here. If it were to break out and go into a consolidation like it did here, I would probably buy some of the 17 and a halves, which closed around 70 cents today. So that's where we are. Okay, Bitcoin, of course. Can't have a day without talking about the Bitcoin. It got down as low as 50,000 this morning. That's pretty steep considering we were 61,000 not very long ago. I mentioned this in this morning's commentary. And we got right back down into the support here around 50 and bounced right back up. Closed about halfway down on the range. We were, in fact, down 2,450, but we were down an additional almost 2,000. So we were down a solid 4,000 at the low of the day. Is getting a little excessive here. It still wouldn't surprise me to see it down here at 48 or 49,000 before turning back up, but we'll just have to watch that. Nike, which was 146 very recently, almost 147, closed 128.62 today, and that was down 452. There is a big protest in China over comments that were made almost a year ago. There were videos on social media of people burning Nike sneakers. What you have to remember about Nike is the fact that they've been in China since for 40 years, and so they know it pretty well. Boeing 247.19 up 795, 3.3%. They are delivering 787 Dreamliners, so that's the big excitement there. As far as sectors, financials, materials, industrials, consumer staples, and utilities all higher today. The only ones that were down were information technology and communication services. There were also a bunch of new issues today, IPOs, not SPACs. Vizio, if you've been to a Walmart, you know that most of their flat screen TVs are Vizio brand. Vizio was supposed to be doing stock between 21 and 23. They priced it at the low end and then cut the size of the offering. Didn't seem to help. The stock opened at 17 and a half after being priced 21, so $3.50 to the downside. It did come back later in the day and got as high as about 19 and a half, but was still solidly down. Another one, Diversey. This is a cleaning chemical and equipment company. Deal was priced 18 to 21 was the original range. It was actually priced at 15 and opened at 13 and a half. So from a low end of the range at 18, the stock was 13 and a half. Not a great opening. It did, however, rally back and looks like it closed about 14.98, just down 2 cents from where it was priced. CRCT is a company called Circuit, CIRCUT. It's a computer and digital enhanced cutting machine for materials, generally things like leather or linen, or very big with hobbyists and designers. The machines are not overwhelmingly expensive. I think they're from $179 to $399. The deal was originally 20 to 22. It was priced at 20 and then opened at 15.80. It got down as low as 14.88. The high was 18.45. The last was 17.80. So down $2.20 on a $20 stock. There were two more, a software as a system, SEMP. Deal was priced at 14, opened 11 and a half, traded down to 11.22. And LVTX, Lava, priced at 15, opened to 12, traded all the way down to 11.17, all the way back up to 15.29, and looks like it closed around 13.05. That's down $1.95. So not a great day for IPOs, but a very interesting day in the market. We'll see which way the roller coaster goes tomorrow. I don't really see very much in the news coming, but you do have to remember we're coming up to the end of the quarter. There's very often some window dressing and rebalancing of indexes. So keep that safety bar strapped down. I'll be back first thing in the morning.